This is a Yamaha XSR900 and it's our new modern classic giveaway motorcycle. It's replacing the R6, the beloved 2008 model that we are selecting a winner for very, very soon. We're going to publicly announce who won that motorcycle very soon here. But this bike fits the bill perfectly. I mean, look at it. Neo-retro, cafe racer-esque looks, this crazy 80s style shelf seat here, the blue and gold paint job, but the performance chops to back it up. This thing with its 890cc triple is so much fun to ride. Recently revised as well, this motorcycle's got a lot going for it, but it's brand spanking new. Make sure you get your chances locked and loaded at yammynoob.co. You only have 45 days or so to win this motorcycle. We're doing something a little bit different for this one. I'm gonna explain why we've shortened the giveaway a little bit on this bike, but I did want to point out that we got this motorcycle from Family Power Sports. They're our new dealer partner for Japanese and Chinese motorcycles now going forward. The CF Motos, so popular with you guys out there on YouTube land. Let's go see what the process was like of picking up this motorcycle, and then let's talk through the specs about the XSR900. All right, guys, we are on our way to go pick up the XSR900. Super excited about this motorcycle. I got the chance to ride the new MT-09 earlier this year, and that updated frame, the new engine, everything feels really good on that bike. I want to see how it translates to the retro neo-classic design and ethos that Yamaha has for the XSR line of bikes. Should be a really cool motorcycle, so we're heading over to Family Power Sports to go and pick it up. So let's go do it.
Hello, buddy.
Hey there.
Joshua.
Thanks. Eric. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're ridden before, so you're gonna know probably just as much as I do about the machine, but I'll kind of just go through the basics. So of course, key on. It's gonna turn the display on. Supply power, of course. Starting up the machine. I always like to pull the clutch in just for safety, but it does have a safety feature in there. It's not gonna start it while it's in gear.
Yeah. This will be good for him. He doesn't know how to ride, so.
No?
No,
Yeah.
people don't think so.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Always good to get a refresher, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
There you go. So we had a really great experience over at Family Power Sports picking this bike up. If you're local in the area, go and check them out for all of your Japanese and Chinese motorcycle needs. But I wanted to talk a little bit about why we shortened the giveaway for the XSR900. So as you guys have seen, we've done shorter term giveaways with the V4R, the double MT-07s, even that Ninja 400 we did for just 3 days on the store. And it's just a lot more exciting to do these shorter term giveaways. It seems like we get more bikes coming and going, people get more hyped up, and we kind of fulfill the mission of Yammy Noob, which is better because we're getting more people on two wheels, which is really cool. So for this one, it's gonna end right on Black Friday. That was not by mistake. We have 3 motorcycles ending towards Black Friday and Cyber Monday. We're gonna have a really cool special offer going on in the store then, but the ZX4, the H2, and the XSR900 are all up for grabs at the same time, which is pretty cool. But you have a limited time to win this motorcycle, so make sure you go and check it out. Go in the store and select the Modern Classic giveaway whenever you're picking out a product, and check out all those official rules as well. Now what I wanted to do is run through the specs on this XSR900, tell you guys why this motorcycle is so special and why it's a really cool option for all of you out there looking for a second or maybe third motorcycle to add to the stable. All right, folks, let's talk over the specifications on the XSR900. I know a lot of you love the spec sheet warrior stuff, so let's dive right in. This motorcycle was recently revised and there's lots to go over, but it is largely based on the newer MT-09 platform. So you'll see here, this frame is the new updated MT-09 frame, and this engine is the 890cc triple cylinder from Yamaha. That's up from 847cc's that it used to be, giving you a little bit more torque in the mid-range and to be able to comply with Euro 5 emission standards while keeping the same amount of power. Speaking of power, this thing's rated at 118 horsepower and 68.5 foot-pounds of torque. And if my math serves me correctly, if we round up the 68.5, we get a beautiful 69 foot-pounds of torque.
Oh.
Nice. Anyways, this motorcycle also weighs in at about 425 pounds, wet and ready to ride. I do wish it was 420 pounds, but it is not, unfortunately. can't have 69 and 420 in the same motorcycle. The universe would probably collapse in on itself. But there's a lot to talk about here for the features and technology on this thing. You wouldn't think it looking at this motorcycle because it's dressed up in this cool retro kind of suit, but this thing has a ton of tech. You have a quick shifter up and down with an auto blip function. You have a TFT display, 3.5 inches, giving you all kinds of features right there. You have a full suite of rider modes. You have drive modes you can select between 4 and 1, 4 being the least amount of power, 1 being the most amount of power. You have cruise control on this thing, which is so cool because this thing over here is fully ride-by-wire. There's no cables going to the throttle bodies over here, so you can go ahead and set cruise control on this thing, cruise all day long. And the coolest part about this bike is it has the 6-axis IMU from the Yamaha R1. That technology debuted in 2015 and is now making its way down into the middleweight categories that Yamaha sells. So that's going to give you slide control, wheelie control, lean-sensitive ABS and traction control, all kinds of great features to keep you safe while you're riding. You can think of this as a nice blanket of safety over your traditional good riding techniques. If you're going to hit a patch of gravel or some sand or wet roads, it is really nice to have these things, and they're not that intrusive on this motorcycle. Up at the front, we have a fully adjustable fork. It's not some cool named brand like an Öhlins or a Showa, but I think it does a pretty good job. The handling on this motorcycle is vastly improved over the previous generations. First of all, this frame is much more compliant, much more rigid. They made a lot of geometry updates on this thing to make sure that it's compliant. They actually changed the angle and the height of the steering stem over here, which makes a huge difference to rake and overall handling. But the new fork is actually a really nice unit. If you can believe it, the original FZ09 debuted with just rebound adjustable up at the front, and it literally handled like a crazy pogo stick. That bike was nuts. This is so much more of an improvement on that old platform. The other thing too is the XSR900 has a slightly longer swing arm over the MT09. This thing has the swing arm from the Tracer 9 GT, giving you a little bit more stability going at highway speeds and a little bit slower handling. It's not much. This thing is still rowdy. It's still a ton of fun to ride, but overall this thing is a much more smooth handling motorcycle than the MT09, much closer to the kind of street spec bike you would see looking at this. You look at this neo retro look and you think, oh yeah, that thing probably handles really nice and gentle, and it does, but it can still flick into corners and actually really attack really aggressively. Another fun feature over here is you look at this section over here, you have quick release clips right here for the seat, you have this nice little grating right here, and also this foot peg that extends out and out of the way whenever you're not using it. And to be honest, between the quick shifter, this triple cylinder, and this little foot peg that moves like this motorcycle is actually very close to an MV Agusta. And I think Yamaha's done a really cool thing in that it's basically built a budget MV Agusta that is reliable, which is what everyone really wants anyways. The price for this thing is $1 under $10,000, $9,999 to be exact. And that's a ton of bike for the money, guys. If you're gonna get something similar from Triumph or KTM or even Ducati, you're gonna spend a whole lot more and not get a whole lot out of that. So I think the XSR900 really hits the mark. It looks cool, it goes great, it works well. I think if you don't love the MT09 looks and you want something that's a little bit cooler, a little bit more upmarket, a little bit more refined, this is a great option. With all that being said, remember this is a giveaway motorcycle. Head over to yammynoob.co, get your entries locked and loaded for this thing. We've only got it for about 45 days, like I mentioned, so you're gonna wanna make sure you get those entries locked in because this is a really cool bike, and I could easily see myself owning one of these in my stable, you know, for an everyday street bike, everyday sport bike. Very, very cool. We may have time to take it out on track. I don't know just yet, but if we can, I would love to see how it does. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for my first ride, super detailed impressions of this machine. We're gonna get the GoPro on and go and ride it around and see what it's like on the day-to-day and on some twisty roads. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Keep watching Yammy Noob.